进来了哈。那等一下，尊者法王在修法的时候，我们就大家就保持安静，然后在心里面可以默念6字大明咒。
好，那个各中心的法友，大家稍微听一下，因为今天呢，法王传法结束之后，就会有一个团体照的行程。那么目前大家应该大概知道规划，那我再重复一次，做内殿的，不管是献供、迎香，好，或者是僧众或尼师，请大家就留在内殿，好。所以第一组的就会是献供的法友跟迎香的法友，加上尼师和法师，会是第一组。好，那其他坐在里头的会是第2组。那照完相之后，麻烦大家就从这个门侧出去。待会儿下课之后，因为照相的时候你不会带包包，所以大家的包包就集中在那边后面，好，就放那边。然后 B 区的同学可能注意一下，那边会有义工引导大家，会有2组，好，所以就跟着义工的部分，可是同样的，您的随身的这些法本啊、包包，就请留在原来的那个您座位的那个走廊的那个窗子的旁边。好，那我们的义工会帮忙大家看行李，所以行李不要带在身上。好，那原则上 C 区的同学就是第4、第5组，第3、第4组会先，所以大家会完就会跟着义工的引导走就是了。那同样的道理，大家的行李就都放在原位，不是往旁边集中。我们也是会有义工帮忙大家看。好，谢谢。
前面有几个可以对，在这边对下了，不要急啊，对下了啊，好，对，不要急啊，看这边。好，谢谢。评审，你身体支持。好了，后面啊。
寂美谦卑，王波将北扬，光洁。宗可巴罗萨扎贝夏拉索对弥美见王波将北扬，康健谦卑主健宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美见为的先见瑞西基美谦卑王波将北扬，康健谦卑主健宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美见为见瑞西基美谦卑王波将北扬，康健谦卑主健宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美见为的先见谦卑王波将北扬，康健谦卑主宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美见见瑞西基美谦卑王波将北扬，康健健宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美的为的先见瑞西基美谦卑王波将北扬，康健谦卑主健宗可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索对弥美的为的先见瑞西基美谦卑王波将北扬，康健 中可巴扎贝夏拉索瓦德弥美的为的先见瑞西其美肯贝王波将培养康健肯贝主给中可巴罗桑扎贝夏拉索瓦德弥美结为得前见瑞西基美肯培王波将培养肯美主肯中可帕罗桑扎贝夏拉索瓦德弥美的为的先见瑞西基美肯培王波将培养康健北主根中可巴罗桑夏拉索瓦德礼敬尊者300。
Chenrizig ada ngen dusha chore chisa inde ada pali sonda inde ada shivni mu chang sungja ma sho ya
So first I have to do So His Holiness has to do the preliminary ritual, preparatory ritual for the blessing of the Avalokiteshvara, and then
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahama sambuddho viccacarana sampanno sukha kavito anutta purisa dhamma sarati satเทวมนุษย์สานังพุทโธภควาติสวากขาโต
ภควะธัมโมสันทิฏฐิโกอากาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปันญญิปัจจัตตังเวทิตาโพวินโยหิติสุปฏิปันโนภควะสาวกสังอุชุปฏิปันโนภควะโตสาวกโคยายาปฏิปันโนภควะโตสาวกสังโฆสามิจิปฏิปันภควะโตสาวกยะทิทังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิอัฏฐปุริสปุกเอสะภควะโตสาวกโคอาหุนายโยปาหุนายโยทักขินายโยอัญชลิกรณิโยอนุตตังปุญญาเขตโลกัสสติอาเสวนาจะพาลานังปันดิตานันจะเสวนาปูชาจะปูเอตัมมังคลาโมตตัมมังปฏิรูปเทสวาโสจะปุเพจะกตปุญญาตาอัตตสัมมาปณิทิจาคารโมตตัมมังพาหุสัจจันจะสิปัญจะวินัยโยจะสุสิกขิโตสุภาสิตาจะยาวาจาเอตัมคารโมตตัมมังมาตาปิตุอุปัฏฐานังปุตตธาราสสังฆโหอนากุลาจะตาเอตัมมังคลาโมตตัมมันติ
Thank you.受想行识亦复如是舍利，是诸法空相不生不灭不垢不增不减，是故空中无色无受想行，无眼耳鼻舌身意，无色声香味触，无眼界乃至无意识界，无明亦无明，乃至无老死亦无老死尽，灭道无智亦无得，亦无所得，故菩提萨埵般若波罗蜜多故，心无挂，无挂碍故，无有恐怖，远离颠倒梦想，究竟念三世诸佛埵般若波罗蜜多，得阿耨多罗三藐三菩提，故知般 罗蜜多，是大神咒，是大明咒，是无上，是无等等咒，能除一切。真实不虚，故受般若波罗蜜多。即所咒曰：揭谛揭谛波罗，僧揭谛菩提萨婆愿消。
这蛮长寿。
念唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽，唵嘛呢叭咪吽。唵嘛呢叭咪吽。
Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani 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 Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme
还没念，继续念。Om Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme Hum.
다들이 단 죽도 겨와 아니 그중에 다 나고 가르쳐 가야 나서 엔쇼고다 전생에 소근들이 내년부터 당야래 전생에 소근들이 검자들 저한테 내년부터 봄주사야래 전에다 자연의 전생에 소근들이 지나 제샤나 상태주 엔 저것이 뒤뒤제 누이 되버리 아니 비유처가 나려야 sembi 요리 근데 뒤도 개할 당시에 아니 장동 송야지 만남지 등기에 산지치 저는 저 샘지 초가스 남지 셔야지 장동 송야지 아니 대행이야 배지 개인 주야지 야 장도 팀버 포모스 개인 좀도 영해서 야 상주 개념에 맞춰 영조 개념 써야 돼 주투네 야오야래 도시 다 대공을야 아니야 대 람즈 쉐롱 두두지 다需要去
比较这么多比较多你们都有三主要道的讲义吧今天是觉醒
So today we're going to do the auspicious concluding the conclusion of the teaching, and I thought what kind of initiation, tantric initiation I should do, and then I decided that it would be good to do the permission initiation of Avalokiteshvara, who liberates beings from the lower realms. And so, with regard to this Avalokiteshvara practice, I have actually done its proper retreat and recited the mantra 600,000 times and so forth, and then therefore I thought of doing the permission initiation of it, and it's the ritual is not so long, and together with it we'll also do the Bodhisattva vows. So you'll be taking Bodhisattva vows, and preceding the Bodhisattva vows we'll do the ceremony for laypersons' vows. And so here we'll do not the celibacy vows or precepts for the lay people, but the lay people's vows, whereby you take all the 5 precepts. And so before that we'll do the 3 principal aspects of the path.
다 가서그냥 어디니마 그래서 님 숨지 말래. 님 숨. 제가 낭시 뭐지 지모지로. 또 쉬셔지. 자다들이 남지 저 나버 숨시니. 그래서 뭐 쉬심을 한다. 네. 공부를 주기 아니 오머지 전화라. 아니 뭔도 줘야 돼. 내리 줘야 하시니. 니 숨도와 제네다 디 공체니 엔 오모십집에 나리야 선언을 못한 것도 파도 다는도 벌시셔서 에너 디타네 로진지 장단티 다 송제 다 금들 엔드네니 배나렌데다 개별 오무즈 다 간달루루 옆세다 송디는 신식이다 냠시 단는 게 아래 근데 별 강정이 정리야 다시 들어줘 주시기도 봐 아니 벌겁직 별로 사지 그때 뭐 쉬우지 냠버리 사인 할람데 우클리아 저중 몸이 정 할람 통야매 버체제 로 주주고 때버리 얘네 신이야 다시 얘네 덩어리야 아니 머리 쳐게 도구를 쉐제 다들 별시우차 취주자다 아니 좋으시 되시나 다 도스제네 좋지 아니 둘리리비에 들이야 아니 남전제버리 제가 남전이 아니 모설까네 좀더 소야지 모설까네 되는 숨부터 답을 기부 숨긴 제바이 가담을 이제 세계 차원이 로악하게 저게 되요 셴 송도가 사지 좀 된데기 에네 되는 숨 소야리스 때 모설을 깔리스 로다지 대버지고 계시다 가서 그냥 계시오나 시리 대버지고 계시면 봐 오늘 전에 이게 타 주지 많고는 다른 명화로 뚝체 다 송샤시도가 맨자지로다 자 된지 인도 되는 데다 되는 순간다 제자 저 님부 뒤셔 기부 순간 넘는 저 뒤니 소셔 레스 소래 자 단디 한다 젊은이네 람주디 람지조 나바숨스 람지조 나바숨 가레스는 민중 장선 양당의 다와 어디 소리 전에 더 젊은이 아니 배에 가서 공부다 고도 젊은이들 지수 잠배한 게 시스 타가리 연구요 말이 아니 라마 우모바사 저리 감네 라마 우모바 보고도지 아니 콩 뭔지 박사세니 콩지 지분난지 추지세 도시거든 니뭐지 지수 잠배야 군도 나보지 아니 콩지 탈면 신 되는 송데 지수 잠배야 아니 다도 그게 시시 아니 아니 지금은 하던데 연구요리 엔 젊으시다 네 도메네야 유상나페 러블럼이 까치구나 그다 아니 제네다 대지 엔 유클리에 대베다 간다지 샤자 지 성부다 라소와 지 간다지 저 창로리야 아니 자고르나 드네 이니 급지 그게 가동게 디저를 내절때 점시 도스 군좀슈 도스 슈를 거둘래 진짜 배하셔야지 그러다 네 되는 순간에 이니 진짜 배야 점시 지금 남들 셔야지다 저도 니저도가 셔야지니 아니 여매거도라 지금 sabje가 남기를 붙여서 하고 돈이 따라 걸이야. 아니 자매한다. 아니 근시니. 아니 자매한게 데 님부지만 송. 근데 구금인도 쓰네. 쉬브리야. 점지 구금인도 쓰잖아요. 자매한게 다 계시고는 빼지듯이. 자매한게 제지도마 지지름시 두고는 주제 돈이 또야 충분도 봐. 베지더스 송샤 이제 차사 좀 치스 도스네 아니 주소 다도 뭐들 루지야래 아니 공급에 사제 공부지 셰스니 용백도리야 아니 저런 렌지 여버디 신수부 최바로 도스 아니 최바 총을 자체 아니 최바 잔에서学sense 다 디세요 싶도가 소소미 비투무이 렌지 여디 개심 붙여야래 그봐 심사지 먹고 셰스니 여도 디디노서 진로나선 저여로 와서 되는 시간이 지금지 잡아야게 있는 베스트스 되네 있는 배전에서 성부이나 가동이나 대화리야 지금지 빛이 쉬우시는 거 요래 빛이 나베 거도리야 아니 진짜 잡아야게다 저도 소소 집중 처벌했어. 제니 차례를 했어. 그다. 엔티도 로마 제비절로 먹고 지금 어디다 내 안다. 왜 지금 그 체년 안에 벤제티 담배 샴디 벨 로버스 주는 게 요래. 아니 다 근데 다 디바 샤체 차례를 태나. 아니 담배 객처다스. 담배를 발셔 주시스. 제대로 좀 해주면 엔 진짜 잡아야 되시잖아요. 네? 담발라 패마베 내싱그리스. 진짜 잡아야 그래서 다 가다 사제를 패니. 엔다 공부하는 마도 엔 야용 맞을 수 있는 소리. 도스체니 다 지금지 사제를 패. 로가 사제를 패. 에니 다 그게 에니 여가 주로 되네 에니 요거 특징사죠. 근데 엔점지 동일 사장디 사장이나 엔디탈리아 다 에니 슝드수시 你们这哎参了了呀，也是路途也是中国啊，什么等中他们抓完噻，太难了，把这三节讲，特别是老跑外公不冲，把这那么小路送完都是，就是上来那么大，哎呢，的，等这步差的那个，这是判断的，哎呢，在些个上的那真是多啊，我在这里下，哎。就是路途也是中国啊，跑步路途也是中国啊，这里。但经常中国啊，成都2点成年些都一样，虽然路上有那个这个成年些都到什么程度？可能还那边呢，电脑呢，路上3节讲，一起，可是因为闹了夏天的这个，你变成这个不得不的，就是urdu什么下来，这是才能全部的。那才能1年，这学习1年，这就是学的。第你们的不得不的能变成4个小时了，第你们的不得不的没几个漂亮的这些呢，没些钱4个人，大家讲吧，他起不起，他第呢不得不的让这交给呢，这看上面的，但是送给家人。开的澎湖大一点，开的就不行了。开的澎湖那么些，澎湖生意没有的就是这个可多的，这个这边可多的，就是个呢，我们到，是吧？他吐的那吐了重的，呢，但不个人这样的也被是，别mix一个别太不重的，呢，这些人不，但是都不怎么的，是吧？但是这边用的这个牛从上头啊。腾讯生的来送我，确实接受了完了，各个他们接受都有，你给找我倒起了，确实单来汽车我有人让我单起来，七叫那买回去到我单起了，哎嘛我开了第一天，吃不了空都去就，但是刚个空呢，你叫了继续革命就，但都注意，因为
你会背缘起赞吗？你会念吗？
现在叫了就，哎。但看到那地上面的叫的，太过大的叫不到，刀根都刀不到，这个等于但是弄得可抓拍的是。第一次确实那老过的现在是说，现在等这个别搞些山寨上是，热点以内就那个搞得了呀，开发我们是，入驻不大，入驻也是一个凶的单年，对，告诉我的这个，我们到了呀，通常那个蒙古几个一样，广播这咱没用过都是，特别上线台湾也凶嘛，到了讲完了，其实这种讲话也大概都懂一些，对了，就是上班的特别就是那种，那种印度这种少数对了，但是蛮多城市，但是这些那有人那么我们做，虽然说那开玩笑的，但是刚才相对路途上路跟着噻，前面前边经过了些，送了快了汤米，汤子人个没事，把等大约那些个个是这样现在吧，那么这些汤呢是大概已经挨出头，现我都送下来的是，前年我都吃不起，我们到啊，他土啊，大概都我们到他土时候在呢，反正，但是这边就我因为就是觉得我你就这个东啊是送下来的，土。你不是投运的在呢？他你谁呀？他你谁我们老了？老了带我这里下头啊，这个是吧？那的当我一步的汤根的，汤那个刚把牙齿都是呢，刚把牙齿都是肉了吧？汤根都行，那但是没落下个就是呢，当我开练的车的呀，我去落了下摩托吧，当我的下个就是呢，他那边那些牙我教没些吧，这里这个牙的是。那看到电中，东北角度下的这个给的累的在呢，他你看到个别告诉我他你谁啊？那个他有的这个我都是送的。然后前年在节目期间，第一我看到人家节目期间，郎中给咱知吧？能人吃么？样的呢，到处对象的这个能人吃么？但能人真不有啥的， 나한테는 너무 뒤뒤인데 너무 총무체 제부치가 너무 진짜 총송 자야래 나한테는 오면 다가 걸어 저무치게네 리신이고 자야래 정의 리신이고 아니 섬섬배 더루티든 거대서 아니 우모배 더루티디 쇼데서 아니 우모발레 로벨 랭댕이 시에바다 시워즈 시에바다 디즈마 송는 주도 타교에는 룩 타교에 받은 다와점에다 투미 비실을 거다마 송제 다 할래르도 네네 대대처지 디슈부데 자식적인 세월이 다 할래르 아니 디 아니 줄리아 아니 디자샤 안다디 디 주인데 고모랍세 고모랍세 엔 루는 중디다 디슈도 안 자샤 슈슈고 자샤리 나가다 더 지금 정말로 뭐 정거 보신 분이네 맞아도 믹스면 된대야지 아니 뭐야다 강제 개별 중에 정거 보신 스거리 개별 중에 있는데 지금 부딪혔겠지 좀 거는 뭐야 오 시더기나 때문에 저는 맨차치도 와 그러다 책만 붙였네 책이 샤야면 쳤네 저거 전부도 여말때 단단히 무수 되니 뒤에 아니 shum망고 쿵 찍기만 대용이지 되면 다시도 근데 어저 든지기다 아니 제르무치 다 로메 제 아니 사고 운동왕 잡았어야지 공연이 제르무치 응얼럽체 누수이다 결한게 때마다 줘야 되는 시스템이 아니 페샤 겸으로는 치는 야구용화스 간난제 아니 겸으로 와마 페르시 아니 뭐게 공개 사지가 때마지도 지라 있는 장골라면 때마 야 아니 그게 시주 니탄에 가다 때문에 샴들도 좀 쉬베 커돌이야 아니 다 뒤도 모르잖니 야마로다 다른 거 살았다 아니 샤 겸으로네 티기 남네 점수를 꾸미시니 아니 담아진 나라나 sen 쉬어리 아니 점치기 람조도 제거리 아니 사고도 뭔가 잡아 샤 겸으로네 아니 규체 아니 대체도 잠바 인생이 람조도 제샤 나 아니 점치 숨 돌변하리야 지티지하리 사고 뭔가 잡아를 뭐 체지나셔지 아니 결혼에 점지정이 넘어서 상집에 내가 올라 거기 통문을 지수가 있을 정도가 통문면 줘야 돼 그러죠. 어두스리 전에마다 남주를 주든 일단 내중 장성 양당을 다 와서 못 시작한 거예요.
今天
So, with regards to the story of writing the three principal aspects of the path, of course, for the last 3 days we have had the discourse on the Madhyamaka Avatara, and which is which served like the general introduction to the teaching of the Buddha. And with regard to the three principal aspects of the path, what it covers is, I mean, as Nagarjuna says in his Ratnavali, the higher rebirth and the factors for that we could cultivate for higher rebirth and definite goodness, and then when it comes to practicing I mean doing the practices leading to these, we have Aryadeva's 400 verses saying first cultivate the and get rid of those of the non-meritorious actions. In the middle, the notion, get rid of the notion of the self, and then in the end eliminate all distorted views. Such a person who is able to do these is a wise one. And so in this way we have a sequential practice of the path leading to enlightenment. And then in Nalanda tradition, in Nalanda monastic institution, most of the great masters followed the system of Master Nagarjuna and his disciples and so forth. And then in Tibet, after Buddhism spread there, and since the 7th century and especially to the 8th century, then there was a time period when Buddhism really declined so much so that for about 60 years there were no monastics in the central part of Tibet. And then later in the western part of the Tibet, what happened was some descendants of the Tibetan emperors invited Master Adisha, and so from Master Adisha, who was invited to Tibet, and he wrote the Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment and so forth. And then from him, the Kadam tradition of Buddhism in Tibet started. And the Kadam tradition is a tradition which actually which puts into the practice that the whole teaching of the Buddha, this wondrous teaching of the Buddha, which are contained in the 3 baskets, into the path for the 3 types of beings. And so if you look at the teaching of the Buddha itself, the Buddha's teaching is wonderful in the sense that because of its being based on reason and not just faith alone. And so Rinpoche summarized the teaching, the whole teaching of the Buddha, and that has come down to him. And the Kadam tradition and so forth, into the 3 principal aspects of the path, which are the sense of renunciation, or the wish to be free from determination to be free from samsara, and then the altruistic spirit of enlightenment, and then the correct view of emptiness. And so in the beginning of the Master Tsongkhapa's life, of course Master Tsongkhapa was born in the Lome, or the Amdo part, the northeastern part of Tibet in the beginning, and then he moved from there to the eastern Tibet, to the central Tibet, sorry. And so he studied in the Sangpo monastery and so forth. And in the beginning, he didn't have any vision of Master Manjushri, his personal meditation deity, but he was actually asking questions to Manjushri through his master Lama Umapa. But then one day, Master Tsongkhapa had a vision of Manjushri, the dark complexion of Manjushri, and since then it is said that he had a continuous vision of Master Manjushri whenever he liked. And so Master Tsongkhapa had a vision in Gadong area of Tibet, and then whenever he wanted to see Manjushri, he would have the vision. And so in one vision, Manjushri gave a very succinct teaching on emptiness, and Tsongkhapa said, "I can't understand it. I can't comprehend what you have said." And then Manjushri said, "Study more." And here you can see what Manjushri has told Tsongkhapa. He didn't say, when he didn't kind of grant his blessing through his the wisdom sword as such, but he said, "Study." And so this is similar to what the Bodhisattva Sattvaparudita had. I mean, from receiving teaching from Dharmottara, his guru. And so there must be some kind of a special karmic link between the teacher and the disciples in order for the teachings to work in the disciples. And so Rinpoche was told by Manjushri to study, and therefore he did study. And then Rinpoche became a teacher to other monks in the monastery of Sangpo, and therefore when Manjushri one day told him that he should go to hermitage, live as a hermit, and do practices of purification and accumulation of merit. And then there were people who actually who said that if you leave all these disciples, it would be like an obstacle to the dharma. And this was related to Manjushri, and Manjushri said, I know whether what would be beneficial to others or not. And so Tsongkhapa finally, at the instruction of Manjushri, left for hermitage and to live in solitude in Olga Chuling. And then he did his practice of purification and accumulation of merit, and then one day he dreamt of Nagarjuna surrounded by 5 disciples. And with regard to the 5 disciples, it said that some say it's one of them was Bhaviveka, others say it was Nagabodhi. But whatever the case, in that dream, what he saw was, whether it's a dream or a vision, what Tsongkhapa saw was Buddha Palita holding a text, Buddha Palita text, and touching it on his head. And then the next day, when Tsongkhapa was actually said to have been offered a text of Buddha Palita commentary on Buddha Madhyamaka Karika. And by receiving that text, when he received that text and read it, and when he came to that point of the commentary where it was commenting on this verse from the Madhyamaka Karika, where it says, if the aggregates were the self, and so forth. And so at that point, reading that commentary on the verse from the Madhyamaka Karika, he was said to have realized emptiness. And then he wrote the praise to the Buddha for teaching dependent origination. And so in that prayer, Tsongkhapa says, alas, your teaching is such in whose service ere it falls, they all attain peace. So who would not be honored to uphold your teaching? It overcomes all opposing challenges. It's free from contradictions between early and later paths. It grants fulfillment of being's 2 aims. For this system, my joy increases evermore. For its sake, you have given away your again and again over countless eons, sometimes your body, others your life, as well as your loving kin and resources and so forth. Seeing the qualities of the teaching pulls hard from my heart, just like what a hook does to a fish. Sad it is to have not heard it from you personally, and so forth. And then particularly Master Tsongkhapa says, the night lily grove of Nagarjuna's treatises, Nagarjuna, whom you prophesied, who would unravel your unexalted vehicle as it is, shunning extremes of existence and non-existence, illuminated by the garland of white lights of Chandras, Chandrakirti, well-uttered insights, Chandra, whose stainless wisdom orb is full, who glides freely across scripture's space, who dispels the darkness of the extreme hearts and outshines the constellations of false speakers, when through my teacher's kindness I saw this, my mind found at rest at last. And so forth. And so what this shows is that Tsongkhapa actually realized that emptiness through the reasoning of dependent origination, and dependent origination is seen as the reasoning which actually dispels both the extremes, does away with both the extremes of nihilism and permanence. And so by seeing what the appearances, which means the conventionalities of things, teachings, one affirms that of emptiness, and by realizing emptiness, one affirms that of the conventional reality as well. And so Tsongkhapa wrote the different texts like the Lamrim Chemo, the great treatise on the middle way, and then middling stages of the middle way, and then the short text, which is the Song of Experience. And with regard to Madhyamaka text, he wrote that the essence of true eloquence, and which goes through the Chittamatra philosophy as well as Madhyamaka philosophies of Savatantrika and Prasangika Madhyamakas. And then he also wrote the commentary on Mula Madhyamaka Karika, which is the ocean of reasoning. And then he also wrote the illumination of thought, which is the commentary of Madhyamaka Avatara, and then later he wrote this short Lamrim as well. And so the Tsongkhapa, it is known in his prayer that he is the crown jewel of snow land. And if you read his books, you'll know his greatness through them. And so he wrote these three principles of path as a letter in response to Tsago Umbongawan Thakpa, whom he sent to the eastern part of Tibet to disseminate the teaching.
Certainly, you do Jeremy Lamri Sheminalia, Danger gave Shini Tseni, Danger Lome Tseni, Tate she's a temper to Sungtua. Lama, Kaju Sungis Cheni, to the law tavern, she your maris, Salengi Sungyari, Tatiri Tane, Kanda Dacha Shoris. Shen yu do and do any consate, Thomas Rangi you do what's gorgeous. Rangu motor, Shen yu do and neves, Thomas Rangi you do what's gorgeous. Rangi you do lutea, any Kanshon Junga Druva Chinese, Yabam de Tang Chig Cheni, Motibu Yevesoro, Chig Shaptem, the Trunichi Pampo Yevesoro. Then Kishamaris, Kanshon Druva Chene, Doba Yunado Mingtawa Mipengis, Gavetta but Chita to be due to Lucia Gosos. Any Gavetta but Chita to be due to Lucati, any Lovosum Yamlenani, Gutosh Goris, then they do any Dotty Lung the Chani, Shinging to a show and Yeshua. What a distributed Lovosum Shiori. Yana, Shin to us, Jenny, Sudulava. She was Jenny, Dingazig lover, Nyor she was Jenny, Shirugulava. Dati, Lamarani, Gutuach, Losumunyam, Negaton, Gutuach. Then Rangu to a Sangi, Yungiamari, Lungichupas, to a show, Yeshua. She told me, Casa. Yonder have Sunja Lungichus, Lomali Yonder Habachi. Tangan to Labdreki in Dakarota. Tini Rotola Makende, Zevetani, Yobama, the Niji Chudenshi. Tantianda, Dodijan Siri, Dodijan, Sansabe, the Shumchati Giori, the Ribi Duzane, Losumana, Casata Mitcha, and the Tini Rotola said, the Chita Michache, Dux Trudua. Chawakanda. She is Hans quite a big catch of it. Says, any she need Lama Temper Devataki down, she needs any country to cool you with the ship cheche. Any 10 songs there is. Just one. The Lama Temper doing a jiggy in a Yanda, so nearly did sound jiggy. Cheche, any Lama. Lia Pendochach, young race, there in the Jundegi, do number 6 and Shin Duyala, do number 6 on Toa, Jimba, Nyama, turn Jeva, Gave Combo to Machigita, Lamde, turn to Massini, middle chair, this also Yamlin Shen, 들지 고르지. 저서다 다 지리기 제준 라마스야가 식수부터기 제슬르드 쳔디낭 아니 가서다 쳔디낭 샤와를 다네 쳔디 또도 담숨 던던이 등에 딘지 뭐임바 다 간다베 남샤 땡지 두번 두야로 조 공부신이 진짜네 아니 쳔디 되니기 겨우 패버즈 다 면자지기 저도 차버리지 준세야디 아니 동에서 마세베 규에 동에 시베 편조 뒤에들래 벽에 제 견도 통네 타르도나 두지기 동에 그 시니 가다가다 코가다다 동에 그런 시도 통네 곡된 것도 찬도 여대봐 된지지 딱 그거래 된지 인데 가자 준수잖아요 시베 편조를 이 벽에 머니 저대야 들레베 이 용수 되니 그래서 타고 되니 걸로 좀 많이 보여 되는 시인데 준비했는데 준 라마스야데 타고 현실을 저주선 但定文的전에 에는 도저히 나와 태고 친구 체외 연대 소인도 들어봤다 상보자ቸው 저바자ቸው 된듯이 소용도와 어딘지 인도전에 배 체고도 봐봐 인도전에 전주선도 대배전에 라마스 어디 지금 대대배다 생이잖아 라마 서제가 라마노를 차차로 송시
一开始念到敬礼至尊诸上师，那在菩提道次第广论的时候，一开始也说到道次根本以及如何依止之。
With regards to the three principal aspects of the path, Master Tsongkhapa, in his great treatise of the treatise on the path or the stages of the path to enlightenment, mentions the criteria for the criteria of a person who wishes to be a teacher, and then the criteria for those of the disciples. So he goes through the structure called outlines, such as how to rely on a spiritual master and how to train one's mind after having relied on that master. And with regards to the reliance, he also mentions that there are the criteria for the disciple, for the master whom you wish to rely on, and then criteria of the disciples who relies on such a teacher, and how that disciple relies on the guru or the master. And here. What is important to understand is that when you hear that somebody is some great being or something, I mean, you should not just jump and to the conclusion that you would take that person as your spiritual master as such, but you should, as if a dog meeting with coming across a piece of meat, but you should actually check the person well, and therefore someone who wishes to become a teacher for others means that he or she wants to actually, help the other persons to discipline their mind and tame their mind. And so, with regard to the teacher, Master Tsongkhapa says that those who wish to tame others first should tame themselves. And the way to tame oneself is to practice in accordance with the general teaching of the Buddha, in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha in the broad sense. And with regard to that, what it means is to be able to practice the three trainings: the training of morality, training of concentration, and training of wisdom. And regarding the criteria of a guru, there are 10 criteria mentioned in Mahayana Sutra Alamkara, and so where it says that teacher should be someone who is called disciplined, pacified, and thoroughly pacified. So these three refer to the three trainings of morality, concentration, and that of the wisdom. And here, the wisdom here refers, since the text belongs to Chittamatra philosophical school, therefore here this wisdom refers to that of the self-analysis of persons. And then on top of being disciplined and so forth, the person must also be more knowledgeable than the disciples to whom they wish to tame, and then they should also understand the suchness, which refers to that of the self-analysis of phenomena, and then the person should also be called elegant in his speech and so forth, and then called compassionate and so forth. And so when you wish to rely on somebody as your Lama, you should actually first check whether the person has these qualities or not. And then when you see that the person has the quality, then you should rely on him or her. And then with regard to the practice, of course, there should be the practice of the four ways of attracting or gathering the disciples, in which one of them is that of doing the practice in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha. And then when you wish to actually teach others, you should also be able to integrate the teaching within yourself first.
계획으로 그냥 인구된 신이 인중체 더 좁아 탐지돼 간다 람수스부터 시도가 계획으로 그냥 인구된 좀된 얘기 다 가져가는 시리 대시 정보 송내 그것도 주주들 타로 송도가 이제 인주잖아요 계획으로 그냥 인구된 인중체 계획 잡아도 인가고 남들 상주 심체 견데 탐도는 중국에서 양도가 나왔지 다 대수부터 시절 뉴신 세대 다 패진 메트리치 코도 식뉴뉴지 나라 아니 시절 뉴신도 시인 사치 양지미 킹중스의 자도 적으로 봐
第一句一切佛语心要义的这第一句呢指的是著作前的一个承诺
So
佛语心要义在这句话指的是出离心
regarding the text where it says, I will explain as well as I am able, is an expression of humility. But it also could mean that the Master Tsongkhapa is giving this teaching in a very brief manner. And then the essence of all teachings of a conqueror refers to that of renunciation. The third line refers to the path praised by conquerors refers to the bodhicitta practice, and then the entrance to the fortunate who desire liberation refers to correct view.
심정이 되는 거니 뭐죠 전쇼도 심기 아니 뭐죠 상계 버시다래 다 드는들 사실 좀 된데 상계 남기 아니 저는 직도 한번 가르스러나 아니 전주 심시다 되더라셔 진주는 사들이 개버도면 더 저거도 통하는 이 한번 식스는 다가나 진주 심기 판유 lưu地嘛도 스타나 시야래 다 대저 전자가 간다 장주고 쓰는 편이 더 쌈게 미셔 정도가 진짜 인데 네 대저도 사실 좀이 자와 개별 남슬도 아니 동이 다 숨겨야래 다디에 산지 코랑 투모이 버도가 스시 저저에서 되면 쳤으네 그래서 쉬었더니 저전에 뭐 좀 상계만 다르야 스시 저저에서 되면 송셔더니 몽골이야 중국을 무슨 송야 전다의 차상 송샤 삼천기 스시스도 코로 상부전디 관대니부터 송용도가 야 저저서 되게 코로 팔바 아니 셔들저랑 신이 동안데 송용도가 스시 저저 외선 드마체스도 코로 타네 아니 유진그 외서 짜도 되네 감디시 님부 전에 다디 소야티 자 남여한다 차진의 조진 그 다와의 조 유진국에서 디땡네 소용구도가 디 콜로팔베 정시 동과 다 만지시는 소야 말이 콜로팔베 그는 소셔베 모니지 동에 유지에서这个 제니 유진국에서 때네 근데 사케 소용도가 차체시 무슨 내들이 저것이 무슨 내들이 아니 기록이 또 장배모도 집에 돈이 나왔다 다섯면 저기야 다 돈이 나와 나라메기 유진에서 캐버워지 게니 디 고메원도 채나 다 조름기 생외에서 원도 채니 인 돈이 고메야디 지고 창조 그래서 내들 우리 라케시 냠뉴제 옛날 저에 자나 공부 직접 보셔야 돼. 자서 다다마다 타신 셔줘야 되셔. 저들이 저선 어디 안다 수시 저저에서 니마체스 서 콜로숭 망벌이 중국을 무슨 소야. 단다 인부디디 디는 단샤서 맞아 전거래. 저 어디 도스리 제니 다 돈이 다 대대비니 가서 선물 남기는 거 내가 용해지 괜찮다. 간단하게 와던데 봐. 대사 당회 이진년. 다들 람조 스무도 막 수년도 아니 람조 태단데 거베 준제. 그러다 아니 대 권배추 권내니 녀기배추 숨신 숨고요래. 다 당분 인중지 숨자 숨샤. 단전 얘가 철로 롱매매 이러고 몇천대 나셔도 말이 안 돼. 하는 게 어디 남다 민중매로 시주의 전제되니 시를 타면라 시를 까마 이제 르제는 군이시 통망이 주제 생이 좀 그렇게 김제도 다전에 니주지서 권배 수술을 단전 얘가 철로 롱매바 이러고 몇천대 나셔도 천대 나셔도 치매 나셔도 이거 안에 민중 주용도가 이를 보면서 렌즈밀로 코에 동에는 양양성의 치매 나셔도 나다 기부송 기부 충진이 붙었다 님도를 막 제시 송도가 다 니주께에 쳐야 돼 대설 공부 코에 표조를 이미 깨지상에 미지 인제 끈도 타고 되냐고 주는 지징이 주께 봐라 소들이
第二句是劝谛听，就是劝弟子们。
So with regard to the
就如同陆菩萨先生所说的，多劫逢生死，见此最劳役。所以
The second verse, listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones, who are not attached to the joys of cyclic existence, who strive to make use the leisure and opportunity and direct your mind to the path pleasing the Buddhas. And so the path pleasing the Buddhas here called to make this life meaningful, first of all, refers to the practice of the altruistic spirit of enlightenment. And so when you have the spirit of enlightenment, it is that agent or the factor which brings happiness to oneself and others. And this is the principle which the Buddhas have found to be the most beneficial to everyone, having given thought to it or reflected on it for eons and eons. And as it is mentioned in the Bodhisattvacharya Avatara by Master Shantideva. And then with regard to the teaching of the Buddha himself, the Buddha, after becoming enlightened, didn't first give any teachings, but he remained in the forest in silence. But where he said that he has found this nectar-like called principle or truth, which is profound, peaceful. So the profundity and peaceful here refers could be reference to the first teaching of the Buddha, the first wheel of Dharma, of the Noble Truths. And then it also goes on to say that it is without any, free from any elaborations, which could refer to the second turning of the wheel of Dharma, and then the he says it is like the clear light or luminous and unconditioned, which refers to the third turning of the wheel of Dharma. And so here the clear light and unconditioned refers to that of the subjective clear light of mind, which means that of the Buddha nature as well. And so this is what is taught in the Mahamudra and also the great perfection traditions as well. And so in these traditions, what is used mainly is this the subjective clear light of the mind, and together with the meditation on emptiness, of course. And the meditation on the subjective clear light mind is not devoid of or absent of the meditation on emptiness, which is taught in the second turning of the wheel of Dharma. Although in the Gaelic tradition, there is an explanation of the emptiness apart from the relating to that of the subjective clear light mind. But here in the Dzogchen and when it comes to practicing the Tantra, when you reach that of the isolation of mind, it seems that the clear light of mind is used to meditate on emptiness, and then it seems all the from looking at the teachings, all the different Buddhist teachings that is spread in Tibet, from that point of view, it seems all of them converge to the same point, as Master Benjamin Lawson Chogyam has mentioned. And so verse number 2 shows the reason for renunciation, practice renunciation, and then verse number 3 refers to how to cultivate it, and verse number 4 refers to having cultivated, developed that of the renunciation. Verse number 5 gives that.
人想就是戒备菜的，你就什么戒备菜送什么真的做，人之当的空度的。
在第4句如何升起出离心之点的时候，为搭配着第7句。
So verse number 6 says, such renunciation too, if not sustained by pure awakening and so forth. This shows the reason for why we need to develop bodhicitta. And then the next verse, next 2 verses actually show how to cultivate bodhicitta. So first of all, in order to cultivate bodhicitta, in order to develop bodhicitta, one must have already cultivated this determination to be free from samsara. And so the verse number 7 and 8 could also be used to cultivate that of the renunciation or the determination to be free. And so here, although everyone, all sentient beings, everyone wants happiness and no one suffering, we are also all overcome with suffering, and that is because of our clinging to this self, an independent self of a person, and so that which is referred by the iron mesh of grasping, self-grasping, and so because of this, we are bound in samsara where there is suffering and the 4 powerful rivers of suffering and so forth. And then the very basis of this grasping at a self is because of grasping at some true independent existence in other things like the psychophysical aggregates and so forth. And therefore, I mean, this is it says in the text in verse number 7, they are enveloped from everywhere by thick mist of ignorance. So this refers to the grasping at true existence of phenomena. And then in verse number 8 it says, by reflecting on all your mothers who suffer from such conditions. And in line 3, this particular line should be, if you in cultivating renunciation, you could actually switch this line to oneself, referring to oneself by saying, by reflecting on this condition of myself, the suffering condition of myself, I shall generate the supreme, that of renunciation. And then the verse number 6 called this, with regards to the measure of having developed bodhicitta, you could actually understand it through called that of the renunciation.
So that Tenzin Charchati, good Tenzin Gichito, so Nanshi, then a middle, some chick, church, look, you do, any Tenzin in the show, charging Gary. What in the Hindu, a civil saw, Tenzin did a civil saw, in the civil saw, several many bears, Tishi tended over Tolan bears. That in Nagachamuri. Tishi damage over Tolan bears, so soon there we are. Do not want to look at them. 다른 신기 우선 참으로도 손토지. 디지 돈이도 토른 베슬럼네 우선 참으로도 인디 있어 좀 그러고. 다 디지 던지도 토른 베슬은 되겠다. 루루고 뭐 투모이 뭐도 땡인 것도 가. 고불루랑 그 자시르고 최저거라. 관계 땡진 저번 중 선이 땡진 저번 중그 최디스 아니 가보면 때문에 저 당선에 땡중 타게도 제 땡지기니 다원등에기 덤버디 마운 담에버리 선이 수고도가 점주 고라랑 차샤네 아니 안다 컨시 식시 송에 찬도 담벌라는 게와 땡진 저번 중 수신도 못하는데 선이 간다다 루주고 공부 아니 땡진 저번 중고 텐 동반이도 텐 땡에다고도 텐이 우면 나오는 송다다 대비 존도ችን 송이야래 아들이 디지 땡지도 토론 베스 다 저 호도하려 아니 나 땡지소는 낭초로 봐 낭초 땡지도 로되기 땡지를 태가 누구 말봐 봐 상다디 덴지사 되기 아니 동보인베 네번 전투지 덴지식 상로 거윤도 아니 덴지기 더 모니기 주변 동안데 로르 샤윤도 덴지를 넣어야지 다들이 디지털로 돌는데
So verse number 9 says, if you do not have the wisdom realizing the ultimate nature, even if you gain familiarity with renunciation and awakening, you will not be able to cut the root of samsaric existence. So strive in the means of realizing dependent origination. And so here, what is important to understand is that although the different practices such as love and so forth can overcome certain mental afflictions such as attachment and so forth, anger and so forth, and they will not be able to do away with that fundamental ignorance. And so as Master Dharmakirti says in his Pramana Vartika Karika, the commentary on the and cognition, that ignorance cannot be countered fully by that of those of the love and so forth, because they are not diametrically opposed to it, because the ignorance holds on to things having some kind of a true independent existence, and therefore it must be overcome through a wisdom which realizes that things have no such existence at all. When you are able to gain conviction in that fully, then you'll be able to see the effect or the impact of the realization of dependent emptiness or selflessness and so forth, and therefore the rest of the negative emotions like anger and so forth can also be reduced. And here Tsongkhapa says, in order to overcome one's ignorance, strive to meet in the means of realizing dependent origination, instead of saying strive in the means of realizing selflessness or emptiness. He uses this dependent origination, because dependent origination is that factor or reason which can do away with both the extremes of eternalism and nihilism as well. And so this the reason of the dependent origination is the reason by which Master Nagarjuna also praises the Buddha, as well as Tsongkhapa in his praise to the Bodhisattva, to the Buddha for teaching dependent origination. So when you are able to see things are dependently originated, then you'll be able to actually counter this ignorance, because you see things have no essential existence in and of themselves. now then the law me about to what can enter ko ni bu de de ge le ya de nang do ren zhao le qin ni xin wei yin ne ji su ne du zhe du tu be gong bo do me ko ma zhao ge ce de ne能是人生没把记者都真正没路通啊，怎么呢？然后呢，大家想的怎么着嘞？那有他说是，被等这个学弟的，就这个等这点，那来吵得吧的，是说那等这没路的，都是不好吧？这样就这样呢，养着，可是就这个等这，这等这那么他也可能可是我这个。但那么蒙古觉得吧，记得多么，
你有的有些上的年上届的什么就是要蒙古就是要的，他把我咱们去年也没得不这个，下一个印度上呢，其实落了那么难行，但也没把再用的全没得不这个，下一个印度，那样的，他听就来，他看到我上次落了7那样，推荐我的也不是个那样个多啊，其实大家考了到时也不行呢，我的俺了这团队里也不是能够做的，那我的就全的没什么去落了下退下去用过了吧，前年他这样的第一回来，就是给上去，这年就拿了的多，他呢，你今年的项目没人有，对面来的达到那不少，那我咱们现在团结去，刚也没把老爷打不上是，提醒大先夸娘的说，去跟老的每个他年纪打不上来，都是那么等，让个月吧，刚也没去说是，在这那样没人你都给。把个说就抽中我抗战现在团结主席，有的话抗战现在团结主席，确实让人老眼的了得是。在这区别了那玩意，我说对的主要对路的，搞是常委因为老有我常委没我开我西都接，我这对的，抗战那样团结我的游戏那样的话，我这对，但我谈年对让人没修实的这个这个的，加上个。抗战时期团结主席按照老那个要的，但对，他那个广场配饰现在这其中个缺点的，其中个缺点的，抗战时期团结主席单人民都像他这多多啊，是吧？但这个人是他，让日本人让西边的吃下呢，吃下3年就在呢，个单人你就没这个这个差用多啊，我的对，当时常委因为老有我了，上班没法开过新都这是，但挺高个要的，他那头让人看上那个我们呗，告诉不给，他那个那弟弟过来也为我的钱，他那个过来主这的钱，但如果那个效果没有让个土没有对路就跟他主要是了对。但等这个老这个等这个到这个等这也那腿还考不多，个等这个老的假是学多啊，可能难对不起，但第一好的是到小朋友看上下送，这等这个，像这个对，那些人家没有几个人都等着没路通往3年呢是，我这得等着几个人都是啊，几个人是的那我等着没路通，落得着落几个，当我通一个写个嘛的，或者东西通落的搞到的，等着通的的主导的，人家如果都从这样出去，那其上的那是不给跟着等着啥的，我想了啥来吧，想了对吧？那啥。到我往个下上进入通用的站呢，团员们呢做单人没上班，那呢他说的东西那个你把这样的些个，这就送多。那些人我其实等着没路通往上面呢，那些有人职能、军人呢，都是在说找完了。那些有人职能、军人是啥的，别就是学员给等着相对拿了送到机构的，像苏联的飞机开不起个人，开不起个送到门站去个。让我跨人他们这些，跟一下子没得这永远都当然的要成本多，这都是的。但今天想那有的时候都东北没出事些东北人，但东北团队单的大把是，别人也我今年我讨论的真的，那有出事，东北没出事的用个要的，就是这个是最新的，但是当然超过民主路是。但是大家就做不起来，但是咱就做我们说，那种让个事情做不起，把真正尊重到今天，但是对我们就主席普是，好的，就是这个年月这个普现在送呀，跟哪了，马上做呀，大家那一起没事去打过的，晓得吗？我都是。
第9句， 第10句了。
Verse number 10. According to Ngodrup Tsogni, he says that when you actually study, having studied with the Madhyamaka philosophy, you should be able to gain certainty in the dependent origination of the law of causality, in terms of the law of causality, how things are brought about by the causes and conditions, and then having understood that and feel convinced with it, then you should also be able to see everything, all phenomena, whether they are compounded or uncompounded phenomena, are devoid of any objectification. And so when you're able to gain that insight and conviction, you have entered the path that pleases the Buddha. And so the verse number 10, the final line said, at that point you have entered the path that pleases the Buddha. And then according to him, this text also goes through the time when you have not completed your analysis into the nature of things or emptiness, and then also that you have it also goes through that the stage where you have actually completed your analysis into the emptiness, and so verse number 11 refers to not having completed that the analysis. And then verse number 12 refers to having completed the analysis into the correct view of emptiness. So what happens to us is, we seem to actually see things as if they have some kind of an objective, independent existence, whether it's the objects and the subjective mind or the cognition, or whether we are talking about good and bad, or Buddha and sentient beings and so forth. What happens to us is that these things have some kind of independent existence from their own side, just as they appear to us. But then when you are able to see, and after having studied the Madhyamaka philosophy and having given thought to it, and have gained some kind of an understanding of what the Madhyamaka view actually talks about, when you see things that things appear to you as if they have some independent objective existence, from your understanding of Madhyamaka view, you could actually you should be able to confirm that they do not exist the way they appear to you, that they do not exist objectively. And so you should be able to gain that kind of understanding or insight having studied Madhyamaka philosophy. And then the 7th Dalai Lama also says that we seem to have this kind of belief that things have an objective existence, and yet we should be able to reject that kind of existence in things, that they have some objective existence. And then within the Madhyamaka tradition, there are those of the Savatantrika Madhyamakas who do assert that things have objective existence. And when you assert such a thing, the objective existence in things, then what happens is, you are not able to do away with all kind of objectification. Although you may say that things have no independent or true existence and so forth, you are not able to still confirm that things how this ignorance grasps at true existence of things. You are not able to reject that objectification as it is held by that distorted view. And so So what you should be able to do is, in anything that you can think of, that you should be able to confirm that things have no objective existence at all. And so it says in the verse number 12, if the entire object of grasping at certitude is dismantled, at that point your analysis of the view is culminated or completed. Verse number 13 and 14 also.
Lo charachene, yilu charachene. Bena sedugi nega ku yilu, milimgu nega ku yilu, ani ni tubu ku nega ku yilu. Daganan shingi ngaranzo lebati the level the tendebe yilu chik. Any level chang gasimbichela nedeaga yilu, the yilu tashil chatya. And the Chenrizig nge moshi with the year, that tudum shu says to level gasar, level chaw, chigomari, yonga janata shisarshi, Redico Pumusevich, that Delia, Yiru Chamudine, Yiru Chamu Namshati, Ton and the Sheston of the Shimdua.
接下来要讲解的内容是有关三专法门的内容。
So in the third wheel of the Dharma, there is this the division or the categorization of mind into the subtle and the degrees of subtlety. So the mind and the awaking state is gross, and then the subtler than that is mind when you are in deep sleep, and then subtle than the subtler than that is when you dream, and then subtler than that one is when you are in deep sleep. And the subtlest mind could be said to be at the time when all our working of the brain has stopped completely, but still people's body remains quite fresh without decomposing. And so at that point we would say that the subtlest mind still is within that body. And so scientists are of course not able to still explain that.
That the Tome Chigundu, High Nanjo, Lamiki, High Najo Nalola, Chivo Chugu Lamji, Pardu Lungu Lamji, any Jugu Lamjis Chen, Lamji Sum Shea.
So in the highest Yoga Tantra, there is mention of the subtlest, using the subtle clear light mind and use that in one's practice to turn into path. And so as a preliminary to be able to really experience this, we go through the process of taking the three states of death, intermediate state and rebirth into the path, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya and Manakaya.
So that again, the Jermuchi Jamia Shasia Seni, and the Tagishu and Shiri, and the Yahagi, and the Sanga Chokoto Monguchi, and Kansa Cherawachi, and Labella Shesi, Labella, and Tambatenche, those drotic to go. Just a native Kansa presence here. And Xi Jinping does the Jadi. Tumung Tolle Sungtua, Raba. Daniel Bali Sungdi, go to Sum Sadi Tola. Does any Gunga so didi, go to Zeni, any the Yonga Lujunal Creativity. That Timingi, Xi Jinping does the Yongragi, go to G, the Selke Mavacheche, and Sandika Marisani, Shetia Yungorvada. Some of the two, any. That day, Yanko, do you young dress and the so much marry? Get some to the shetty, and the Shiri Naria, Papa Genesis, George and Naguduba. Just any Shiri Sons de Kansa, Lata in the Genesis Tungurubata. Genesis Matunga music they live in 30 Sheriff who came and thought to the name and just Chibulo Shishing some things.
So I mentioned about how Tsongkhapa had visions of Manjushri and received teachings and so forth. And similarly in India, there were Indian masters who received tantric teachings in visions of deities and so forth. And so these teachings are usually, I call them the specialized teachings, particularly specially tailored for specific disciples. And so, and then with regard to the teaching of the sutra, I mean, I usually consider the teaching to be the sutra teachings to be general structure teaching of the Buddha, and particularly here I mentioned that the perfection of wisdom teachings are teachings which are the general teachings of the Buddha, although it was not popularly known, not given in a kind of large public gathering as such of ordinary beings, but therefore it is said sometimes that the Mahayana teachings, like the perfection of wisdom teachings, are not the teaching of the Buddha, but still the teachings of the perfection of wisdom could be considered the general teaching. In regard to the Heart Sutra, for example, I usually say that we find mention that called the Shariputra was actually asking question to the Avalokiteshvara, and if there were people who had who could not see Avalokiteshvara but only Shariputra and who had no pure vision, they might think that Shariputra was actually talking to himself.
So that did the Chenrizig Ngensong Kundol Kasabani Dibe Chilo Lange Tobaye Gawa Ngensong Dawson Chilo Charge Tobayina Gawa Jima Ngensong Miyoti, but in Galen on the Watanala. What did it? And nay, the Kasabari or Chogadi New York, the Regtone, Takisia, and money. Rumunji teach Chocolate Tone or Savi or Dosri. That's enough. The Intamebe non sane, Tayin Nangshin, and it gave it Tone, that Chiloshu Yari. So Daniel Lama and Tamebe Navajitu Mayimba, and Genesis singing yasu. You could only have a Nashinji, Genesis singing yasu, the Digilia, you go on check, just one. And it's all some chenny, Yala, Jama, Janjang, Yanlia, any Igazati, Cheno, that distributed to see you go on check.
And so with regard to this particular blessing of Avalokiteshvara, together with flanked by two deities, other deities, the Green Tara and Egazati, it is a teaching which has come, which was received by Trubong Pema Sherab or Kawang Pema Sherab, one of the Tagpu Doji Changs, in a vision of this Avalokiteshvara. And so it says in the text itself that if you receive this blessing once, you will be saved from being born in the lower realms once. And I have done, as I said before, I have actually done the retreat on this particular deity and recited the six-syllable mantra 100,000 times. So this deity, so in order to receive this blessing, you should imagine the Lama, me, in the form of Semging Yeso, this the Avalokiteshvara, Semging Yeso, not as an ordinary person like you usually see me. And so the Lama is flanked by these two deities, the goddesses, the Green Tara and Ekachati. So as you see in the Tanka, if you can see the Tanka painting, or the Tanka.
And simple times a dark and run years and some non dark some dangida. So did she do in it? She Chenrizig done the cakes as she roll shagmido. And charging the simple times a dark and run the yen. Civil super simple times in yen to take the yard. That delia in it. She dry herself, she lost the window. Time Dalai Lama-Three Chenrizig me want to na be could look at on under so me composition ngare hada juju sigdi the job tamji jang ro the part of telling the person hada 설명나서 가와키 sen sheshi 진리 인도 개도고 처디 시다도 없던 게 시다도 못 당사리 다 도스리 다 전에 다도 검들이 아니 심지하리 당연히 대응하라 그냥 장소 침바 포모주 개념이 좋더나 야고야리 그래서 레베싱아데 미셔바 구모고 자임셔바 디디 도박해라네 말하네 진짜기 내가 주나 저는 저거 봐 그래서 라보도 게 이미 마삼네 정강을 줘야 될 zem국으로다 더 되네 미줄라메 주니 지나서 망쳐야 말이 다되네 창미통 다 창미통도 들어서 강해요다 그래서 두두기 창미통 엔다지 르비 최대의 진짜 선에 예미 두고 주네 뭔가 모든 것이 라스시 모든 것이 어다 러싱아 도신다
通常在传授这一种密授金刚乘的加持的时候，会有一个流程叫做一朵妈去。
So with regard to this kind of initiation, there's the practice of doing this Torma offering to drive away evil forces, so-called evil forces. But I do not do this, and since some time ago, I have stopped doing this practice because I'm somebody who practices and generates, cultivates bodhicitta and takes bodhisattva vows every day. And therefore, as we find in the text for bodhicitta and bodhisattva vows, may I be able to call upon all sentient beings as my guests. And so I'm somebody who sincerely, does this, feels that, and therefore I don't find any sentient being as someone to be gotten rid of, driven away, and overcome, such as ghosts and called evil beings and so forth. I don't consider, in my mind, no sentient being actually appears as called evil and so forth. For someone who sees all sentient beings as my friends, there's nothing, no one to be driven away, to be gotten rid of as such, and I feel uncomfortable doing this. Although the other lamas may do according to their own practice and according to their own experience, I do not do this, and since some time, and offering the Torma. And as Master Shantideva says in his Bodhisattva Charyavatara, today in front of the Tathagatas, I call upon the sentient beings to the feasts of the Buddhahood, Tathagata or Sugata, and also in the meantime for higher rebirth and so forth. Therefore, all gods and non-gods, be happy. And so And then we'll do the Bodhisattva vows. And before that, for the lay people who wishes to take the layperson's vows, there are 5 precepts to be kept and observed, which are not killing human beings, not committing rape, and not stealing, not committing the grave lies, and not drinking alcohol. And so, with regard to the first 3 vows, precepts, even if you don't take vows, if you commit them, you will be actually prosecuted by the law of the land, and you land in prison. And so, and then with regard to the 4th one, the ordinary people may not be at risk of committing that, but the 5th one, not taking alcohol, I would say that you don't take alcohol too much to the point of becoming death if you need to, as Lingam had once told one Tibetan elderly man who took these vows from him, and when he explained not taking this, the elderly man said that I cannot give up. And then Lingam said, just take a little bit, not too much, to the point of getting drunk. And now for this layperson's vows, now make 3 prostrations to the Buddha as the teacher, and then make 3 prostrations to me as the person from whom you take these vows. And now kneel on your right knee. So for the layperson's vow, we'll recite these lines: Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, and Namo Sanghaya. So when you say Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, you take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with the aim of becoming enlightened for the benefit of all sentient beings. And you also aspire to attain the qualities that are in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha within yourselves as well. And so with this in mind, please repeat these lines for the layperson's vows. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Gurube,
Namo Gurube,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Buddhaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Dhammaya,
Namo Sanghaya,
Namo Sanghaya.
Labi Shingati, Nganji, the children take each other. Any can you go to Shingan? Countries love and Shishi, Marangi, Sushin to Lagi, Sabashi, Mushibo to Lagi, Sabashi. Those Semria, lawyer, Ningdo, Gage, Tamshauri. Chenrizig can watch that.
So, though we will not do any repetition of the lines, but keep in mind that you'll be courageous enough to train yourself in the footsteps of those past masters who have taken these Upasaka vows, and to keep them until the end of your life. And practice correctly. And next is taking the Bodhisattva vow. So as it is said in Bodhisattva Charya Avatara, And today my life is born fruit, I'm born into the Buddha's family and so forth. So it is very fortunate that we are able to generate and take the Bodhisattva vows and generate bodhicitta. So it's not only to say that we are fortunate to be able to take the Bodhisattva vows and generate bodhicitta, but if you really think through, you'll see that bodhicitta is something that really gives you inner strength, this strength, the courageous heart, and also to be able to see all beings as one's friends.
Oh yeah. Chenny, some give to no, Serbudaturwa, Lutadayangurwa. Some true then, Mizukore Tundra, then Tuxone, Ranstia, Yungudua, Terkazabulidala, Ranstia Mangudua. Move to Nishayawene, Ranstanatoa, got a Sambutan, Moju Yungurda. That's some Moju Young, some Moju Sogan, so they ranch decision. And it did the Nimdolia. 그게 바로 서로 전조되는데 된지지 지단다 랑진진 동다 현지원들로데 뭐는 전에게 저 치단 정식의 뒤지 조정 되는 저 유어서와 메시지는 되는 서버상고치다 로칭의 연구를 서버 나고지다는 미지 로칭 배치 갖고 있다 자들이 이들사데 러시아는 그래서 누구도 이 러시아는 뜻이잖아요. 러시아와 무슨 저 내려시집을 많이 쳐준대요. 실험 참시 두고 인조에서 중심이 있어야지. 다른 것도 레뉴가 상황이죠, 봐. 레뉴가 상황이지. 얘네 섬상고시게 얘네 동이到상당 제인도잖아요. 다른 용어배 상황을 치니 레뉴이 겨울랑 대여대인의 생각나라 오늘 전에 왜 자주 자셔는 시기를 올려 샤트야지 연구도 와 실은 참시 두고이 저행에서 준신 저 참시 년도에 저시비 지디 저용무 동서에 심진다와 샤와이 차단 걸로 깨디디 계세유 심진소로 봐 심진디 탄지도 2년도 때 이동을 때는 용도잖아요. 내가 대도 접시 녀몽기 니미디도 통 녀몽그 싸와디 쿠메데디도 삼고 거윤데 어다 로스쟁이를 좋아하시지 저녀몽 동서에 쓰민다고 샤와요. 저 메시르르다 진진이만 쳐보이 담저 어머소벌레 마르진 연구 총원이 있잖아요. 송샤데 뭐는 잔르다다 야오 상다나 진짜 인도 자주 심스다게 그 책디 퇴배이네 지금은 교상고인데 버지 배지다 상당 들지야리 들이들잖아 어다 아다 검들 다 소수고 있는 소수 샤불이야 전셔도 셈게야 용거리 레디네 다 라메 종네 아니 셈게바이나 딱고 방부수로 찾도와 아니 라마자마레 겨와서도 저거 유사바체 드리지 눌이야 심기윤두고 셔라게 심이야 숙체다 담저도 무슨 그 때문에 용거야리 어두신다
如同陆菩萨学们所说的灭死圣甘露即此菩提心如果真的发起了这一颗利众的
So, with regard to bodhicitta, it is said to be that nectar which overcomes one's mortality and death. And so, when you practice bodhicitta, what you actually experience is peace of mind. You have happiness within your mind, and therefore your physical health also is better, and therefore it can overcome our mortality or the death. And whereas if you remain selfish, extremely selfish person, then you are not happy at all. And with that attitude, you also go to the length of of committing suicide. And so the main factor for our unhappiness, frustration, and so forth is this the self-cherishing attitude, and together with it, it is supported by that of the grasping at true existence in things, and therefore, when you practice bodhicitta, it actually overcomes one's poverty. It is like that of an inexhaustible treasure that you gain. It is like this inexhaustible treasure that overcomes poverty, and then it also is this tree, this great tree, which actually gives a cool shade to those who are fatigued on the path of samsara. And so, of course, while we are in samsara, we are brought about into this life through the power of our karma and delusions, and therefore we are in the sway of them. But when you experience bodhicitta, although the bodily and the physically and mentally you are in the samsara itself, but in your mind, the joy that you have is comparable to the joy of an arahat, and so you mentally don't suffer, although you are afflicted in samsara. And then when you are able to see all sentient beings as your friends, and also you see that the mental afflictions are faulty, and then you also when you practice to the practice of bodhicitta, you will see that it is like that of the sun that dispels the darkness in your mind. It is like the essence of butter of the dharma as well. So just hearing the word bodhicitta should be able to give some joy in your heart.
那接下来我们
So
就
with regard to
翻到第
bodhicitta, of course you can generate bodhicitta by yourselves in your room or other places, but here you are taking it from a lama, which actually helps you to see the lama as your witness, lama together with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as your witness, and therefore your commitment to keep the bodhicitta would be firmer. And let's for bodhicitta the ceremony now, let's say the 7-limb practice.
所有礼赞供养佛，请佛注释转法轮，随喜忏悔诸善根，回向众生及佛道。所有礼赞供养佛，请佛注释转法轮，随喜忏悔诸善根。
So whatever merit I have gained through the prostration, making offerings, rejoicing, confessing my negativities, and requesting the Buddhas to turn the wheel of Dharma and not to pass away. This is said 3 times. With this practice of 7 limb.
Now,
so we'll say the words for
그조선도 더지지 되거든요 소소샤 저에게라 제이랑 산지선주 이이송스라네 데르르 산지 고반데 말한게 다 이이송 말한게다 병원도 저인이 사실 산지도 선주보도 더지지 러시는 주스는 기억이 다때네 전주도 심 가서 전주는 기억이 있어야 되게 무슨 기억이 다때네 디쇼데 전주 속에서는 계기네 심사선저 다근 정도 내렸어 심사 탐자로 다근 정도 내렸기 있어 다 정도 내려셔라 정도 내려왜 애니 심전데 이디 다야 파 내가 그때와 원도 터도 그때와 타바도 탐제체며 고방 량 거네 고방은 거네 애니 내가도 터도 근데도 용수서 아니 主持人是吧？这他陈述这种用这个意思，嘛嘞，陈述是今是这大个人都念，大个人都念呢，的拍不主要的那个头头跟头头主要的陈述是别的，多那么些国内三千的主要的人，这因为就是啥呢？陈述是今是这大个人陈述这种用这个的，找了盘子三件主小，陈述是别的吧？到国他们这呢。想了拍不不是主要，被移动为这吧，印度人呢，就是这种用这个意思。当然呢，找了盘子商业就搞不透了，这个意思，当是他们这些商业搞不特别给，人就说第一呢，那个人生就是当时是这种因为这个叫的，城市生活这个自己成为俺哪里给意思。的生见到的，人家呢，这个弄的修差不几月的他呢，那么讲呢，其实是个多么痛苦呀的，这个弄的慢呢，其实是个多么痛苦嘛的，身上不结巴上个，没什么结巴上人嘛的，主动痛苦嘛的，主动痛苦的，其实是个这个他的催sinh的弄什么去，都是的弄的。这个弄的修差不结果的，第一点，你那是个教啥子是个第一点，帮不了下。第一个哪怕他把了结束了呢，当然得先说是身体，先说是就把他到了催sinh到那个因啥的，生个他们这下，人都见了他们这下，有的先说是不多不送我下的嘞，找了盘子三件做了少下的可多了，先说是不连数百可多了，说是不多不丢了结束啥不起啊？
在诸佛菩萨的面前。
So the text that we'll use for Bodhisattva vows is I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the merit of migrating beings. I take hold with my mind the perfect state of Buddhahood. And then that is taking called generating bodhicitta in general. And then I go for refuge. The next verse is that of refers to the aspiring bodhicitta, where you think of becoming a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. You are not thinking only to benefit yourself, but all sentient beings. And then the last verse says, I mean, in this second verse, it says, in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others, I shall develop the supreme enlightened motive, which is bodhicitta. And this is the intention or the thought which solely thinks of benefiting other sentient beings. And then it gives the benefits, the short-term as well as lasting goal of enlightenment. And then in the third verse, it says, I shall develop the supreme enlightened, in order to fulfill, having developed this supreme enlightenment, called mind of supreme enlightenment, I shall develop. Towards all sentient beings, my invited guests, I shall act with supreme enlightened conduct. And so, you think of all this benefiting all sentient beings, and not only intending to benefit all sentient beings and to become, for their sake, to become enlightened, a Buddha, but you also think of taking the practicing engaging the Bodhisattva practices, and so without actually thinking of taking engaging the Bodhisattva practices, you will not be able to receive the Bodhisattva vow as such. So the most important thing in Bodhisattva practice is that of restraining the extremes called self-cherishing attitude. And so you take the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as your witness, and in front of them you actually generate this courage to engage in the Bodhisattva practices, having generated bodhicitta. So at the end of the third repetition, please feel convinced that you have received the Bodhisattva vows. So you should have the intention to become a Buddha for the sentient beings, and also to engage in the Bodhisattva practices in order to receive the Bodhisattva vows. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take hold of the mind of bodhicitta. The enlightenment of Buddha. I go for refuge until my enlightenment of Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. And I do so to enlighten mind in order to fulfill the image of myself. And I shall develop the Supreme Enlightened motive, having developed the Supreme Enlightened motive. I shall call sentient beings as my guests, and I shall engage in this delightful Supreme Enlightened conduct. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I should take refuge in the three jewels. I confess all my negativities. Individually, I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take to mind Buddha's enlightenment. To the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, I take refuge until I'm enlightened. To achieve the benefit, the interest of myself and others, I shall develop bodhicitta. Having developed this supreme mind of bodhicitta, I shall call upon all sentient beings as my guests, invite all sentient beings as my guests. I shall delightfully enact the Supreme Enlightened content. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. At the end of the third repetition, please feel convinced that you have received the Bodhisattva vows. I seek refuge in the three jewels. I confess each wrong actions. I rejoice in the merits of all beings. I take to heart the state of Buddhahood. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. In order to fulfill the aims of myself and others, I shall attain I should develop bodhicitta. Having developed the spirit of highest enlightenment, I shall invite all sentient beings as my guests. And by enacting the Supreme Enlightened conduct, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Please sit down.
我们每一天都要发心，因为我们现在心需要承诺，这是很重要的。如果可以的话，当你练习。
When you feel disturbed in your mind, you should think of bodhicitta. And when you feel dispirited in low spirit, you should also think of bodhicitta.
다시는 대신 주소가 또 무슨 해야 되는지 봐야지. 다 되네. 얘네 된다. 아주 재난셔야 돼. 당년아 재난 시즌에 라마던 든지 살 공부나시 아니 라마조에 살게 고요래. 다 지금들 아니 왕 톱겐스 아니 정이 살 공초같이. 왕 마토버즈 랑 줄리아 아니 사고미야체 도신다.
So just as the Lama himself has generated him into the main deity, as well as the portrait in the altar into the deity, likewise the disciples also should generate themselves into the deity in order to receive this blessing. And so, for those who have received the full-fledged initiations, you can imagine yourself transforming into the deity, Kasavani, and also for those who have not received the full-fledged initiation, you can imagine the deity on your crown.
any Tezan any Shanju Sugudi Shayu Yorva. So the need is an attack or the Semdendonga Togdoa. Semdendon, Diju to you Semdondanga, the Semdendon Chiborwa. Got a Tommy with the Chiborwa, that thing and some down with that. So the need to Jan Samolo, Tony Commission.
And so just to reflect on those lines that I have recited yesterday from the Mahayana Uttara Tantra, which says that all the complete enlightenment of the Buddha's body is radiant, and that the mind, the emptiness or the suchness of the mind of sentient beings and Buddhas have no difference, and so forth. And so, in other words, when you become a Buddha, what you attain is that of the Svabhavika Kaya, the truth body, which is the nature truth body, and also the wisdom truth body. And these two in turn arise, or you are able to attain them because of the emptiness of a mind as sentient being. And so meditate on emptiness. So for these 4 days, we have been thinking about and talking about emptiness. And so meditate on emptiness. So let us think on emptiness using these lines from Mula Madhyamaka Karika, that you are not one with the aggregates, not different from, you are not in the aggregates, the aggregates are not in you, and that you don't possess the aggregates. Who am I?
Om Sumbawa Shuto, Sawatamo Sumbawa Shuto Hangs. Om Sadigi, O Masum Shani, Lunga Yusum Sabache, the Lunga Yusum the Tena Tabanga. The Tendrigita Nadi, Tata Madawe Nigoche, the Madawe Nigo, Nadi, the Yende Hazada, Jen Tata Pang, Yende Tata Zogre, Sang Get, Seagi, Tendrigita, Tani Jenking Mala, Yuyala. Da Tony Gomku Yari, Chasanga Dindu, said Matanga. Tean, Mersum to Yamaris, Dana Shisa Chavari. Da, you top jet Dishi with dear, Dana Shisa Chavari. So the Rigitania, Tomani Yabarsha. That the Rigi, Moni Church, then Dansam. Nangzang, Chigmado, Lola Nan, Shimoni to a ten some quota chevy, some Lustani, Genregita, Ranjim me, some Lotti, any Dubjasheni. Any the Pamle Pemagawo, Damasum, Pemagawo, Sumgi Tendo, and Dadalo Usu, any Papa James singing Yaso, and Yaso Trenja, Yando in the regime, or two sluts on Gosum, one top of the social thing, the sound down, one more top of the, and Julia Genesis on Gosum with the setup shop. So, the mantra for meditation emptiness is Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarvatama Swabhava Shuddha Hang. And so Om represents the body, speech, and mind, as it is made up of 3 letters, A, U, and Ma, representing the body, speech, and mind. At this stage, of course, our body, speech, and mind are impure. And so these 3 impure body, speech, and mind has to be transformed into pure body, speech, and mind, whereby you become a Buddha, wherein
when you have overcome all defilements, all defects, and have gained all perfect qualities. And so the transformation from this impure body, speech, and mind to the pure body, speech, and mind of a Buddha comes through the meditation on emptiness. Therefore, you should meditate on emptiness, think about yourself, and feel convinced that you, as you think of yourself, that you do not exist and independently. And when you analyze yourself into your body, speech, and mind, you do not have any inherent existence. And similarly, it is the case with the Buddha. And so have a strong conviction that you have no independent existence at all. And with that, through that meditation, you transform into the palm syllable, and that in turn gives rise to 3 lotus flowers, on which rise the 3 deities. In the center is Avalokiteshvara, and then to his right is Green Tara, and to his left is Ekazati. So make a prayer in your mind, a fervent prayer in your mind, that you may receive, or request for receiving the request for the blessings of body, speech, and mind of the Buddha Avalokiteshvara. And so the body with the perfect attributes, and then the most important way that Buddha's help sentient beings is through giving teachings, and therefore you should think of receiving the blessings of the Avalokiteshvara here, so that your speech is not used to deceive others, to for false speech and so forth, and so restrain from them. And then the blessings of the bodies and speech of the Buddhas come mainly because of the enlightened mind of a Buddha, which is in the nature of compassion and also wisdom, realizing the diversity of things as well as the reality as it is. And therefore, you should make a prayer for the blessings of the body, speech, and mind of Buddha.
Lama Chenrizig said, "Any Jew omle, any Chenrizig kupatong chung. Dagan nashing dunji Chenrizig Jew omle, any." Chenrizig kupatong chung di channel lama timje, channel jolo ma timni, kuishalo toso nyabata, any Pandelama Chenrizig said, "Jimba Ale, any Chenrizig kumarput in the patong you number patong Dunji Tishuni, Channel Jingala Timni, Margishala Molo, Toso Nyaba. Tagana Jing any Lama Chenrizig said, Ninge any Hung any Chenrizig Kundol patong Tagana Jingi. 투지사요 홍이 뭐 받는 것인데 전화로 마팀 둔지 투가 내가 텐더 것인데 아니 천지연데 삼점이 켜 아니 라라야 또 토송냐 봐 도선 재미나셔
So imagine that the Lama is in the form of Avalokiteshvara, and also imagine that the deity in the altar. So from both the Lama as the deity and the deity in the altar, from their Om syllable on their crown, innumerable, inconceivable numbers of Avalokiteshvara, white in color, comes forth and comes forth and dissolves into the Om syllable on your crown, and then you receive the blessing of a body of Avalokiteshvara. And then similarly from the R syllable at the throat of the Lama and the deity in the altar, the red Avalokiteshvaras come forth and dissolves into the R at your throat, thereby receiving this blessing of speech. And similarly from the Hum syllable at the Guru's heart and the heart of the deity, blue Avalokiteshvaras come forth and dissolves into the Hum syllable in your heart, thereby receiving the blessings of wisdom and compassion of Avalokiteshvara.
waka adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida adisana ambisha omaya logushuru zida adisana ambisha ya a da digi luji diktu joya nga ki diktu joya yi diktu joya sene da lunga yisumbuti be sosu pa lunga yisu sosu ne pa kanta ka sosu be matakbe chati pa jangni toru ene sanjeji kusung tuk die di ene ngojik chade gyare la dene yindu sanjeji ene sai kusung tusu yeme rojibachi di yoyagi shimaru dela tadangaranzo da lunga yisum rakbe denge dikdikdi jangne da dene lunga yisum cha sungsung rojiba da di ngondo gyoyagi ene Chenlo Narona, Sabetane, any Lama Genesis Savat, Dui Genesis Sere, Ne Sumjalone, any Ahum, Sum Chungni, any Channel Lama Namji, Jew Jimba Nigason Matim, Jew Jimba Ninga Disha, Jenny Ma Tim, Jenny Da, any Samsung Rojibe, Kusung to Yenda, Tata in the Rana. So
that was blessing the body, speech, and mind to transform body, speech, your impure body, speech, and mind into the body, speech, and mind of a pure body, speech, and mind of an enlightened being. Now, next is receiving blessings of the body, speech, and mind all together, and so that you receive the blessings in order to purify the very subtle defilement which hinders us from attaining a state of a Buddhahood whereby your body, speech, and mind become of one taste. And so for that, you imagine that the rays of light comes forth from the body, speech, and mind, Om, Ah, and Hum syllables on the body of the Guru, and they dissolve simultaneously into the Om, Ah, Hum on your body, and thereby you overcome all the defilements together, and you become someone fortunate enough to attain the body, speech, and mind of a Buddha, which are of one taste.
Any Sumbo, the Domain Burba Sukishwa, that in Dungi, at the Genesis of Sokos from the Sani Yodava Delia, Ngensong, so the Genji, any the Zaju Yapan, some said them, the Chicken Tar, any Genesis Zongo Sum, so Julia, Pasani Yodava. 다 텔라마 팀 텔레 랑르 니버시 랑니르마 팀제 아니 파고체네시 아니 구송토게 다 랑르 류가 예수 예메 로저도 교송냐바 다 디토네 다 뒤타네 송데 배 겨네 겨 치르네 치르 파고체네시도 재미지게 타네 아니 장지 장죽선 마기버기 기버 콘네 콘도 페이데 타르네 파고체네시 고방 다 토야게다 개화전도 최소 사바 누버샤소 사바치아
现在已经拿出来的
And so His Holiness will hold the torma which has the portrait of the deity stuck on it. So the torma actually is generated into the deity himself. And so when His Holiness goes says the prayer and he mentions the names of the lineage lamas one by one from the top down, that lineage lamas dissolve one into the next and below, and finally all dissolve into. Imagine they're all dissolve into the Chenrizig in the form of the torma that you see, and from the Chenrizig, the replica emerges, and this dissolves into you. Thereby, you are blessed, so that you'll be taken care of from life after life until you become enlightened without separation by the Avalokiteshvara, so that you have become someone fortunate to be able to taken care of and guided by Avalokiteshvara life after life until you reach enlightenment. So please repeat this mantra, which is the transmission of the mantra. Mani peme hum, om mani peme hum, om mani peme hum, om mani peme hum. Om ayatare tam soha, 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 om eganzade hum 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 soha. Oh yeah. No ci vedo la tendilo go wanzato su subo dikta benza so subo dikta benza so subo dikta benza so ta de ring so contribution na chuori de ci de son de话te 참여 nga che shi ji de de go ji sa jiang qin lu lian ri to ba yi jiao ri ring song dao song de song sha. So the text mentions that someone who receives this, each time someone receives this blessing of Avalokiteshvara, his or her door to the lower realms of existence is stopped or closed.
대대 첩지 탄댕을 너무 몽구지 들때 롱고 몽구지네 대패시 독스 남버리 엔장상으로 돈이 전부 나셔 독스 남버리 두시에서 쓰기 엔 가당을 한 주다 지금에 지금 쉬우쉬우도 신말이 돼 있네 강신실지 지금这些저랑 주인에 후다바다 반년체这个계속 주부들이 아니 지지 장배양다 군도 상고로서 어디다게 我们其实在我内心，大家能就讲，特大个别我们在我内心去给他，我咱们能说啊。
So here we have people who belong to the Bliss and Wisdom organization, which was founded by the late Venerable Tenzin Jamjen Lai, and also we have many Chinese, and then we have other Chinese Dhamma friends, and also people from different disciples from different countries, many different countries as well. So although I do not know much, but I have done my best. So I thank everyone for coming here to receive the teachings, and although I don't know much, but I have explained the Dharma as much as I can, and let us all dedicate the merits that we have gained.
By 你们不是要念那个什么长寿祈愿文吗？现在可以开始念诵。无一生者善密经，无一随所调伏，实现幻化。有几妙善中言如意宝世界，恩者常是海会众我的梦里因，曾其情血与火，但今亚作尊长寿一庄百劫永见，祈愿人欲承办其加持法界。因欲举起如地成大乐智慧幻化于无数，更以坛城中显出一切本尊诸天中我的梦，因中成其情血与无足等因要作尊长寿。用坚固祈愿人欲承办其加持端正功德混元功勋业尽，众生皆海恒有其缅怀绕以十力天中，无边善事一切圣者众我的梦里因坛成其情血与火。So
the long life prayer for solidness, Om Swasti, magical dance of being from conquerors, three secrets, all appearing in such ways as tea, wish granting gems, souls of all the worlds and Nirvana's goodness, assemblies of kind directed lineage goers. To you we make a request with intense longing, give greatness, grand inspiration that in Gyatso, land of the Lord, land of the snows, may live on the sun perishing and the sages be chieftains of themselves. Thus less apparition of great bliss wisdom acting like clouds in the whole Dhammadava sky, appearing as a countless supporting Mandavas, as you assemblies of Yidam deities. To you we make request with intense longing, grant inspiration that in the Gyatso Lord snows may live 100 eons unperishing, and the sages be chiefs of themselves. Abandonment and realization is complete. You help in the perpetual play of the light of your actions in oceans of samsaric worlds, 10 powered ones, the gods of gods, all you infinite conquerors of 3 times. To you we make request with intense longing, grand inspiration that the Gyatso, Lord of the land of snows, may live 100 eons and unperishing as aims be achieved of themselves and so forth. 不离解脱金刚之成以弥陀圣者以圣切众魔的梦里因盘成其情血与辅助等因加错长寿一庄百劫永坚固祈愿人
土尽于石林中怀，蒙了白纸，只有一些竹层板，一些树苗，山尽有福，空心中还会我的梦，营盘成其气，血与护足等经高所尊长寿，百劫永坚固，祈愿人与承办齐家，金刚持之法印受印戒，不离经验，大吉头颅，维护教基释教为师尊居士，护教大海中我的梦里营盘成其，学与护足等经高所尊长寿一宗拜，永坚固祈愿人与承办齐家，持如是无殊胜仪轨众生心至诚恭敬其情力无穷中，坚必知我等其经学与众生度护诸阿王罗等经高所尊三密不坏不变不衰，尽力坏灭金刚常若上境界大，不动恒坚固无边生者种子事业但见一条，惟越于肩上绕一切珍贵悲心者其路，人云而承办愿具比例显愿虚空非有情其细相，恒解脱一切世出光弘佛教，即照遍满菩提有基地莲花手持加持甘露，承受我的心愿其如教佛心供养清净一不显妙，大海拯救尽稀有诸佛佛之之家，愿其无况至真谛我以清净真上一乐，祈愿顺利速办诸愿望。
谢谢。
谢谢。Version that a lot of us knows and they live on some version and things and achieves of themselves.
그래? 어디 주시?
台湾国际藏传法脉总会感恩法王慈悲，为我们华人请法团及四众弟子为期4天的课程传授。弟子们会谨记法王您的教导与叮咛，我们愿成为法王您的眼、您的口、您的手，成为千手千眼，传达法王您的慈心与悲心。祈愿法王法体安康，延足永固，长久住世，弘传教法无障碍，广利一切有情众生。祝愿法王早日满愿回到西藏。法王加持，台湾国际藏传法脉总会的会务推广无障碍。那接下来我们要报告今年的藏传总会报名总共的人数是206人，至报名的人数总共为791人。那昨天又增加了4位。2天的收入总报名费总额是6915054元。我们的共僧每位僧众是总共是供养700元。那加上我们所有费用，就是吃饭那些的费用，总共的支出是640。 最后我们台湾四众弟子请法王跟台湾
At the end, it's always also mentioned when Chenrizig calls my son, we should also, did I say that? We should also, aspire to be one of
请法师站起
one
来，
of the
其他的大家往后走好吗？请你们这边先起来一下，因为请主教先上来，主教上来，主教请上来，谢谢，让大家。